Hi everybody, welcome to the Finance This Property That podcast. My name is Dion Fernandes and I am a mortgage planner and finance professional. My goal is to empower financial legacies for generations, and I look to do this by using my over 13 years experience in finance and having special guest speakers like financial planners, accountants, buyer's agents, family lawyers who are experts in their field to provide knowledge and free education. And without further ado, let's get into our episode today. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Finance This Property That. As promised, I told you I'd get someone with a very good knowledge around tech, and here he is today, Mr. Jason Back from Broker Essentials, with over 30 years experience in the industry, both on the tools and now helping brokers be more efficient, improve their processes, and use technology to better help clients. He did an amazing keynote presentation around how technology is going to influence the future. But also, I wanted to get him on here off the back of that to really talk about how, as a consumer, it's going to help you as well. And not to be afraid, because I know I am too, believe me, but there's things to not be afraid of, and it will help you. So thank you so much for your time.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, the pleasure is all mine. It's actually quite an honor. So thank you so much. Now, I've worked with you before.
I have.
I know you really love the space of technology, but also process efficiency, because ultimately you're putting the customer right in the middle of that, the buying transaction. So I'm going to throw it to you now. It's all things technology, right? It's revolutionizing our industry. Okay. How do you see advancements like AI and a bit of automation in the background helping clients get quicker loan approvals, which actually will have the impact on their ability to secure the right financial products?
Look, it's really early days for AI, as much as there's been a lot happening over the last sort of 10 and 20 years. In our space, where AI is really helping is that because we have a lot of data to assess, whether that's financials or customer spending or their history, valuations on property, there's so much really rich data that we can use. AI is really helping to condense the time it takes to look at that data, take that data and put it into really good information so that we can make the process more efficient. But because it's still relatively early days, we have to take a very cautious approach to how we do it, and that's why we've still got the human interaction side of things to make sure that we're doing it safely and we're solving really complex problems.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on the human interaction. You did talk about the human interaction yesterday and really understanding your clients and asking more questions and really being part of their world, which actually resonated with me quite well. So I don't feel the human interaction, so don't worry everyone out there, we're not going anywhere, you're still going to be able to talk to us. I won't turn into a robot, I hope. Cool, well, we all know banks are really streamlining their process and data collection and credit assessments are going quite streamlined.
Yep.
What role do you think brokers and financial professionals are playing in helping clients make smarter and more strategic decisions during their financial journey?
Yeah, I think with the advent of all the technology and not all of it's AI, but just good tech sometimes, is that it's making that process, more streamlined. It's easier for the client to get that information. It's easier for us to access that information. And at the heart of that, what it means is that you're spending more quality time working with a client on debt structure and strategy than we are sort of pushing paperwork around or asking for documentation. So we're getting to spend time with the client where it's most valuable, which is your experience, whether that's 10 or 20 years working with SME clients or it's doing self-managed super funds or helping first home buyers. Where our passion is giving the advice side of things. It's actually really not great use of our time to be chasing around paperwork, and it's not really great use of the client's time. So the ability for tech to help in that area helps us spend more time with the client, which is fantastic.
Yeah, and that's it, just building the relationships, right? Because that's what we love doing, and we love helping them achieve their milestones and financial legacies, right? So, cool. Well, looking ahead, if thinking about what's happening in the future, you touched on this in your speech yesterday. What's coming out there to help clients with maybe potentially quicker approvals or helping people like myself better assess client situations?
We're going to see over the next sort of 4 or 5 years, we've seen rapid advancement in technology. You said in the last 2.5 years, we've probably seen more advancement than we have in the last decade. So what we'll see in the next 3 or 4 years, and if you look at things like the ATO 2030 tax vision, which is no more tax returns, so digitised tax returns.
Yep.
We're looking at things like open banking and what they call CDR, which is all the information the banks will be able to share. Which basically means all the information we need to know about you as a customer, whether that's your expenditures, whether it's your incomes, whether it's your asset values, will be a known, right? Which basically allows us to go, right, we can sort of assess you pretty much at all times. There'll be variations between banks and policies, and your job then as the advisor will be to talk to them about the strategy, whether it's wealth creation, debt reduction, and then placement in line with their debt structure and strategy. So the role of the broker is going to go very much from, as I said, this analyst, paper pusher, to someone who's going to be a strategic advisor to the client, which to me is absolutely super exciting.
Yeah. And that's where I love getting into the weeds, right? You can be as transactional as you want, but when people really want to plan out a journey, you've got to start from the end and bring it out and use everything that you can.
No, and you want someone on that journey with you.
Yeah, 100%. Back to your point about the tax being automated, there are other countries in the world doing this.
Been doing it for 40 years.
Exactly. Like New Zealand's definitely doing that.
US has been doing it.
Yep. And I think, once again, it's going to come, different markets, different, populations, right? So, and complexities. But Easter egg question, everyone. So last little question. What should clients get excited about, or what should clients have something to look forward to with this new technology coming, as it evolves in the financial space?
Look, I think again, from an efficiency perspective, it's going to allow us to overcome some of the hassles that it's been about collecting all these information. As consumers, generally, it's pretty scattered all over the place. That's going to get easier, and it's going to also allow consumers to focus on what's important to them. Right, which is going to be about wealth creation, multi-generational wealth creation, debt reduction, whatever it's important to them. It's going to move us past the homework and the admin that we have to do into a time where we can spend more talking about strategy.
100%. I'm really excited about that piece, right? Because my vision is to empower financial legacies for generations, and I think the technology will come with that to make it simpler and easier and branch out a few things, for the sons and daughters, and just bring that out and just take them on that journey as well, especially guarantors. Well, how do we come pick them up earlier rather than later? But mate, short, sharp and sweet. I really thank you for your time.
Absolute pleasure.
If you guys want to have a look at Jason's work, you can find him on LinkedIn under Broker Essentials. Again, thank you so much for listening in, and see you on the next episode. As always, the information on the show is very general in nature. If you'd like to speak more about your current situation, you can contact me using the details below. Thank you for listening.